Hi there, this is a video looking at some long-term trends for the Grand National. This image shows the names of the 76 horses currently left as declarations. You might see Gold Present listed in some places as well, but he's a non-runner. The maximum field is 40, and there are usually 4 reserves who can come in if one of the top 40 cannot run. This maximum field size of 40 was set in 1984 and not in 2000 as Animal Aid once claimed in a written submission to Parliament. The first thing I've done is eliminate any 7-year-olds. None have run since Moscow in 1940, and indeed none have placed since Black Secret finished second in 1971. But I've also eliminated any horses 13-year-old or older, as none have run since Sergeant Murphy in 1923. However, none of his 76 horses are older than 12 years old. Secondly, I've left off horses who haven't won a chase at 3 miles half a furlong or longer. The 30 Grand Nationals I'm looking at between 1988 and 2019, only 2 haven't done that. They are 2003 winner Monty's Pass, who won at exactly 3 miles, and 2016 winner Rule the World, who is actually a maiden chaser. Now, to misquote the man with no name from a few dollars more, you may be thinking there's something wrong with my adding. Between 1988 and 2019 there should have been 32 Grand Nationals, not 30. 1993 can easily be left off as that was a race that never was, with the race abandoned, although some horses did finish the course, including first past the post S&S. I have also, for all purposes, for 20 years left off the 2001 Grand National. Not because of the incredibly heavy ground that it only saw 4 horses finish and 2 of those were remounted, but because between them the loose running Paddy's Return and Edmund took out 10 of the other 38 runners. I'll admit the Wedmore Order had never won at 3 miles, but given the circumstances I'm happy leaving the race off. I've also noted 3 horses here who won a 3-mile hurdle but not a chase, and also Magical Light, who fails but finished second previously in the Grand National, and note horses that marginally failed trends. However, if later that changes to my listing just an X, it means they fail a later trend. This one is more contentious with my leaving off horses who haven't won a chase or a hurdle 2 miles 4 furlongs or shorter. I feel you need a good bit of tactical speed to win a Grand National and not really be just a plodder. Last 27 Grand Nationals, again leaving off 1993 and 2001, 24 horses passed this trend, including the last 14 winners. The failures are Earth Summit, who won at 2 miles 5 furlongs, and Headhunter Lord Galleen, who won at 3 miles. The latter did win 2 races in New Zealand earlier in his career, but I don't know the distance. Favourite Cloth Cap fails this, but only by a fraction, as do 2 others. The next 2 trends solely depends on my definition of a stiff chase track. I've used the same 15 tracks for over 20 years and I'm happy with them, and the only change has been I no longer consider the National a stiff track. However, I still feel that form at a stiff track is important. Ignoring Wedmore Order, since 1988 every winner has passed both these stiff track trends, bar one for Arthur who fails both of them. Even though the National is an easier jumping test over the last few years, I still think jumping ability is critical, and I use this 10% rule for any National Hunt racecourse or in Britain or in Ireland. Bad luck listed here simply means if the horse is hampered. The next trend is simply that the horse must not have bad form overall over the National fences. Another couple of trends here based on chase and overall experience. No winner since at least 1992 has had less than 9 chase starts, and I'm pretty confident you'd have to go back to at least Corbière to find one that did. Going back to 1992, only Monty's Pass with 41 and Amberley House in 37 had more than 27 chase starts, and in terms of career races, 4 horses going back to 1992 didn't have between 17 and 35 career chase starts. 1 had fewer, Party Politics on 14, 3 had more. Again, Monty's Pass on 46, Amberley House on 59, and another one is Aurora's Encore on 43. Final trend is that horses should have won a chase with 13 or more runners in it, and a race with 14 or more runners in it, given the large field of Grand National, of course, being well up to 40, depending if we have no runners or not the last minute, but usually of course 40. Going back to 1992, only 3 horses haven't won a chase with at least 13 runners in it. They are Lord Galleen and Bindui and the aforementioned maiden Rule the World, and Lord Galleen and Bindui also fell the second trend as well, going back to 1992. Finally, I have some notes about the remaining horses. The note I've made there about both Bristol de Mai and the Storyteller and weight is actually more important than it appears, especially for Bristol de Mai. I get an obsession in the Grand National looking at trends at how much weight a horse is carrying, and in fact what you need to look at is how much weight it's carrying compared to the bottom weight. And for a while, when the weights of winners are going up, so the weights of bottom weights are going up as well, when you're rarely seeing horses out of a handicap. And if we go back to 1988, even adding in horses like Echelon and Red Marauder, still the largest gap between the winner and the bottom weight is £21. And Bristol Myers is exactly at £21. And 4 horses, which is certainly possible, so I'm a little surprised myself for Santini, for example, once. If horses pull out, then the weights will change, but the bottom weight will actually decrease, and Bristol Myers will fail this trend. Now, as actually, in the last few years, the difference is actually increased in the difference between the top weight and the bottom weight, and with horses who have won. So it's less important maybe for horses below £21 off, but still the storyteller is higher than I'd like. And personally, I would say still, I'd like not much more than a stone difference between my horse and the bottom weight, and I think the storyteller, and possibly some others who have already been eliminated, will fail that. Thank you for listening.